Hey guys, when it comes to stopping the rattles and creating an environment to hold pressure and to handle the massive amount of destructive force that is bass, there's many different ways to go about it. And different levels. You got your sound deadener for your first and second levels, you know. You got your different types of sound treatments. What I'm doing is in between that and going full, you know, wood and then up to steel and then up to concrete. Well, what I'm doing is using a basic aerosol can Expandafoam in different strategic areas to prevent movement and noise from interior panels, and also to help contain pressure and prevent some of the exterior vibrations from soaking up all that kinetic energy that I want to turn into sound pressure at the front of the vehicle. So let me show you what I'm doing, and you can judge for yourself how you would like to play it. But this is what I'm doing. All right, if you guys watch my live stream, you saw when I did this, you see we've got plenty of action. The top isn't coming out anywhere. I'm gonna need to put some more up there. I did break those off and they didn't grow anymore. I broke all these off too, and they all grew on out here. And that side over there was mostly cleaned up too, but it's all growing. It's coming out of the inside there, over there. Got some cleanup work to do. Still a little bit smushy in some places, but I'm gonna pick some of it off and see what happens. All right, after breaking those chunks off over there, mostly it's not coming out, but that one spot over here they broke off nice and clean, but they all started weeping. So we still got quite a bit curing inside here. It'll take it a while to cure completely, but once it gets done and it creates a nice plug here, we will make this look perfect. You won't even know what happened. It'll look great. And these panels are going to be super solid, and that's the idea. No flexies. Alright, it's the next morning. So about 6 hours later, and let me see about this. This is what we got. Let me see about it. Go around and pick it up. Alright. So yeah, after about 6 hours, that side is all dried up and ready to be cleaned up, and this one's still got a little bit in here that's weeping out, but we'll let it weep out and sit for some more hours and then pop it off and see if it's done. But that's all fine. Let it do what it needs to do, and then when it gets done, we'll be done. Yeah. guys can see, it's mostly expanded. All it's going to do is still a few wet spots all throughout here. But throughout the process, I've been making sure that my latch stays moving and my door lock stays functional. Keep moving that. There's foam against that area, and I'm just kind of mashing it down and working it so that it works. But I can always manually push it down if I need to. But it does work. And I'll keep working it loose like that as it sets up more and more. Of course, there's not going to be any window action in this door, but that's, you know, par for the course. This window mechanism broke, and so it's got a completely locked-in window. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, mainly because I want to reinforce the doors. And as you can hear now, it is solid. Make sure that's unlocked. Close the door somewhat. I'm not closing it all the way. There's still some foam hanging out. I don't want it everywhere, but it's solid. It's not ridiculously heavy either, so that's a plus. But the main thing is it's solid. And we're not going to have any rattles or any loss of pressure on this. Now, if I wanted to really turn it up to 11, I could cut a piece of plywood and make a door panel out of plywood. And I may do that in the future, but right now I'm going to put the door panel back on, and we're going to roll with that for now. But we got something. Alright, so still got some cleanup work to do, but she's 100%. Lock works, everything works. Good times. Alright guys, so having done the doors, we're going to move. Well, I've just done this door on the passenger side right now. We're going to do the driver's side door, but I'm going to do the roof next. What I did was, using a step bit, I drilled some holes up here, 3 of them, and then 1 on each side up here where this handle is on both sides. Trying to get areas where I can get the can kind of level or above the hole. Because once straight up is not really an option with spray foam. The main area that I'm wanting to fill is this area here and the sides to give this some more rigidity. It's right here, this part is attached to the metal roof. This part right in here isn't, and this part really gets to flexing. So we are prepared with this time with some Walmart brand stuff. This stuff here, Worth expanding foam sealant. This is the big gap stuff. We're going to shove it in there and see what happens. This foam will discolor and or totally screw up the headliner, but I really don't care for multiple reasons. If it does, it's all going to get painted black anyway with some vinyl paint. I'm going to do the whole roof. But another thing about that is probably either over the winter or next spring, I may be doing a completely different roof in here and just pulling this all out and doing a plywood sandwich of stuff. But so I'm not really concerned about it. I do want it to stop vibrating though, so let's see if we can make it stop See what kind of benefits we get out of this. Find me an angle to my bed. Well, for better or for worse, I'd say we got some good penetration and expansion and filling going on because it's coming out of the edges of the vents. That means we definitely got that whole area full of foam. So now we just got to be patient. I got stuff up here for it to drip on and let it all set up. Now what's going to drip out, drip out. And it's about tomorrow sometime. We should be in pretty good shape to come out here and investigate, clean up the mess, and see what we got going on. Well, it's been sitting out there for about 3 hours. Definitely got some expansion going on coming out of the vents there. All this stuff will just break off. It's like this. Should look mostly, you know, if I can get it to break off flat, it won't even really be all that noticeable. But if I wanted to leave it tan, I can make it work. But we're getting somewhere. Let's go around the other side. So yeah, I got a blade and kind of cut those off a little flatter. This stuff doesn't break off as nicely as that stuff I got from Menards, but it works for a nice hard surface. See, all of this literally just breaks off. And you know, be all flat, but yeah, I guarantee you those vents ain't gonna rattle no more. They're very, very stuck closed, which is totally cool. Oh yeah, that's a lot stiffer. And it's not set up yet all the way. But yeah, that's a lot stiffer. That's hard right there. Heck yeah, man. Alright, it is the next morning. And it don't look like we have any more creep up there. I don't know, we'll see about this thing. This barnacle keeps going back. Come on, get off of there. There we go. So that's the one right there. It just kept seeping out. But I think we're done with that. We can start cleaning this all up and get it all ready for the touch-up work. We'll see if that seeps out or if it stays. That one over there is definitely done with all of it seeping. And those are little balls that come up here. So I'll get in here and clean all these little dudes off of here. But all this will, see how that will come right off of there. It's always best to let it totally dry and totally get done before you start trying to pick it off, because it comes off better that way. But that is significantly more solid. I like it. I like it. All right, I got some cleanup work to do, and then I'll show you how we're dealing with all this other stuff. All right, so after a test ride, the whole backside back there is holding well, but this whole area up here is still flexing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right up in this hole right here. I'm going to push this door up and go up in here, and I'm going to fill this whole area up in here. Also sticking that door closed because that thing likes to slide open to here, and I want to push it all the way forward, and so it's closed, and then foam the hell out of it right in here, getting the door and pushing that door, wrapping it all up, and also stiffen this area right here up. So that's what we're going to do. Well, today we're going to be using great stuff. I got the big gap filler, up to 3 inches. And let me explain my my plan. So the plan is I'm going to put some right in here, okay, in this inside of this lip. This thing moves around quite a bit, but I'm not really worried about it too much. What I'm wanting to do though is stop this from flopping, right? So I'm going to put some up in here, then I'm going to shut that, and I'm going to put it back up in here, and that's going to lock it forward. And then hopefully this part up here, this expands up in here, will keep it from moving on this end. This will keep it from moving on this end, and also brace up this area up in here. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm trying to stop this from moving as much. It doesn't make any sound, but boy, it does a lot of bouncing. So that's the plan. And if that works, great. If it don't work, well, then we'll have to figure out something else. Mess happened right there in that front part, but I'm just going to leave it there and let it dry. It should just pop right off. But here's what we had going on back there. We filled that sucker plumb full of foam up in there, and then got a little bit up in that edge right there. I'm hoping it just kind of sticks it together. That foam is pretty sticky, So that's why I wanted to get some up in there to try to grab that front part, just to kind of hold it. But yeah, we shouldn't be getting no movement out of that. Hopefully, we'll find out. I got the back somewhat cleaned up, and things are looking better. I still got a vacuum back here, but you can see I need to hit that a little bit more. It's got a little bit of white showing through, but yeah, just simple black paint just completely hides that. Better. So you can see I just barely brushed it. I need to do a little bit more. You can't see that off camera, but you can on camera. But yeah, it just goes right away. Looks good. So, and you don't even notice the ones on the sides unless you get really close to them because they're white. But I still got to clean that up a little bit more. And I got that mess up there that's going to happen with the console and all that. I'm just going to have to wait and see what it does. And I should know something about it tonight. And I'll get in there and clean that up. Once I get done getting the roof rigid, I want to decide whether or not I'm going to paint it. I'm planning on painting it, but I don't have to paint it. It just depends on how it looks in the end. If it's presentable in the end, I might leave it like it is, but yeah, we'll see. It's just a matter of we'll sees. So if you're wondering why I didn't just pull it out and do like a plywood thing, there's a couple of reasons for that. One of those reasons is this piece that's in here fits perfectly. It's all attached and it's pretty rigid, and so that's one reason. The second reason is doing the whole wood roof thing, if I do compete, puts me in a different class. But Expandafoam doesn't count, so we can eliminate some of that movement without you know, doing the whole wood roof thing. I also like the way it sounds. It's got a good sound to it. If you guys get a demo in here, you'll understand. The bass is really smooth, deep, and soft, and it's not all that harsh like it gets when you have a completely wood interior. It gets kind of harsh. It's got a nice smooth softness to it, and the mids and highs don't have a lot of echo, so they sound good. So there's reasons for the things I'm doing. If you're wondering about resale value and all that, there's not any. I have no intention of there ever being any. Do not care about resale value. I didn't buy this to make a profit. I bought it because I liked it, and I'll use it until it falls apart, and then it'll go to the junkyard and I'll get another one. And until then, that's how we're rolling, baby. All right, guys, it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I popped that big old chunk off the console. I still gotta, you know, clean off the little bits on there, but check this out. This piece right here needs to be adjusted, but that's where that noise is coming from. But this doesn't move, stays put. That's good and solid up there. It's all one piece now. That should make for good sounds. I'm not sure about this, how I'm going to address this crack thing here. I'll come up with something. I could, you know, like caulk it and then paint it, but I'm not really sure. You know, trim this part up so that it's nice and flat, and then caulk the rest of it, and then shoot it. That should pretty much hide everything, but I don't know.
front doesn't look too bad. It's got some, it's kind of messy because I got messy with it, but you know, it is what it is. This didn't really expand very much. The part that's up in here, of course, it may not be done curing yet. It's got some time yet to go to decide how it's gonna act, but it may cure some more. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here, and we'll do another one whenever I get ready to do this. I've got to get this thing up. When I get ready to do whatever I'm doing to finish the look up in here, because that back there may need to be painted and all that, and then I'll end up just painting the whole thing all at one time, and yeah, it'll be a project, but you know, I'll make it look decent for the next show. It's coming up in a couple of days, then we'll go from there.